I drop per, penso, i bounty coins su questa stream. Quindi se guardate la cosa e avete Twitch collegato a iReds, guadagnate i bounty coins. Mentre guardate la mia stream. 20 secondi. Easy. Sono curioso perché da bravo main support voglia di usare tantissimo sto personaggio. Ah, poi dalla prossima split Betty entra in ranked, sarà stranissima vederla. Sarà stranissimo vederla. Eccoli.
Greetings, champions, and welcome to the Heart of Darkness update show. If you don't know me, my name is Isaiah, and I'm the community lead here at Hi-Rez. Some of you may recognize me from my time over on the Smite side of things, but I am super excited to dig into all the awesome stuff that is coming to Paladins in the next update. We've got some game balance, we've got a new Siege Beyond Schism, a ton of awesome skins, and of course, the newest champions coming to the realm, Lilith.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
I am super excited. I've got the amazing members of the Evil Mojo design team with me, Fish and Alex. First of all, how are you gentlemen doing?
Doing great. It's great to be back in the studio as well. Like,
definitely.
It's a good day.
Dov'è Romanova?
Yeah, I'm just
Prima domanda.
Thanks for having us. You know, thank you.
Right? No problem. It is my pleasure. Well, like I said, I'm super excited to get into all the stuff that's coming to Paladins. We have a lot to sink our teeth into. I was told to bring one pun. I'm sorry. But let's go ahead and kick things off with balance up first. And first on the list is Azan.
That's right.
And Azan nerfs are coming, and I know that's something the community has been asking for. Fish, why don't you walk us through what's happening with Azan in the next update?
Sure. We're hitting some of his survivability. We're hitting some of his crowd control. Azan's essentially been dominant since he released, and the community's continuing to request like a downward adjustment. So we're hitting him in a number of places. Yeah. We're reducing some of his base health. We are also, I think his stuns when he hits a wall are smaller. The lift is also smaller, and then I think he's getting a small buff to damage in his ultimate to help compensate that. We still want him to be tanky. We still want him to be survivable, and we want to keep some of that utility that makes him fun. But by hitting him in a variety of places, I think we're going to bring him to a healthier spot.
Yeah, so
okay.
We've got a ton of changes. Fish just walked us through. I want to let everyone know patch notes are live on the website.
Nulla di grave per ora, scusa. Forse la vita è un po' punitiva.
All those numbers and all that stuff that we know you all love. Head over to paladins.com, check out patch notes right now. But as on nerves,
gli hanno buffato l'ultimate, fa più danni.
Quick and sweet.
That's right.
You love it. Next up on the list is Betty, the newest champion that is hitting the realm. What's going on with Betty, Alex?
Yeah, so Betty, you know, our newest champion, she is excellent, awesome. We all love her, but we wanted to give her just a little bit more spice. You know, she needs to hit a little bit harder. So everything that we're doing right now is to kind of make her a little more deadly, to make that bomb queen just really stand out as a queen. The first thing we're doing is that we're just kind of changing around some of the ultimate is huge. We've made this just a lot more damaging, right? So now you're moving faster when you're ulting, you are dealing more damage. It's just going to be easier to confirm. It's going to be easier to hit, and people really wanted that. We also know that you got a bounce talent. Now you're going to be jumping a little bit, the cooldown, right? You're just going to be kind of bumping around, hitting people. Now with that, you're also going to be dealing a little less damage. So you can jump more, but you're going to be hitting them a little less, right? You just give people a little more survivability, but you can still move a lot. That's pretty cool.
Questo è l'unico talento che ha senso su
other
Betty.
than that, we definitely are going to be looking at some of the cards as well. We know that the Eureka movement card, we're just decreasing some of that threshold to get that back so that Betty can fire more. She can use that awesome grenade launcher a little more. And then we're just kind of changing a few more of those cards so that the grenade radius, that explosion, is now changing. Instead of changing that radius, you're actually going to be just getting more in-hand ammo. So just keep firing with Betty, you know, keep blowing stuff up.
Exactly.
That's what she
does. Be the bomb on the battlefield for sure. Well, we got Azan nerfs, Betty buffs.
Tanto il loadout utile è quello sui salti. Quindi ste carte non le tocchi neanche.
We have another nerf to Furia. Fish, walk us through what's happening with Furia.
Sure. Furia is one of the community's first.
Exterminate?
In particular, her Exterminate talent. So we're making a change there. Previously, it would do up to 75% damage to enemies who got stuck in it. So what we're doing now is we're reducing that to 50% when it starts off, and then it scales up to 100%. So if you landed on them and you time it well so that they're stuck in the whole thing, you'll still be able to get a lot accomplished with it. But if as the enemy you have resilience or some other way of getting out of that crowd control and get out early, you will walk away with more of your health because it ramps up towards the end. So hopefully that'll give a little bit.
Praticamente ammazzano Furia così.
That's the big one for
alzi il volume, sure.
A card or talent as well. So yeah, there we go. Devout dexterity. So for this, what we're gonna do is It's going to regenerate for a short duration after an elimination. So, yeah, good stuff for Furia. Hopefully that'll make your...
È un nerf, è un nerf. Praticamente il Pyre, quando colpisce, non fa più danni massimi su un nemico stannato, ma parte dal danno base e sale fino al 100% dei danni nel tempo. Quindi se il nemico esce prima non prende niente di danno. Prende quelli di danni di furia base.
You can fire more, but your damage is lower. So it's kind of, right now, it really changes the way a sniper usually plays.
Right.
We've changed that now. So now it's going to be everyone's favorite. It's a
Talmente
mine build.
inutile.
So now what you're going to be doing is you're going to have additional oppressor mines that you can have out on the field. And the big thing is when you throw out a mine, it actually produces 2. So with this
Questo è da
mine,
provare.
it's mine
Questo è da provare
building, just going
tantissimo.
through mines. Yeah, that's what this is all about. So we'll see how you think. We'll
E
see
in
what
realtà
thinks about
ogni
it.
cosino di
Throw out
Chinesa
those
fa
mines,
tipo 200 danni a
that pressure
secondo,
out
no?
there. I think this is going to be a really fun talent.
Un po' meno.
It sounds super fun.
Butti 4 sul punto e vedi il frontline che si scioglie.
Test out that new talent and see how y'all are feeling on Kinessa. Next up on the list, we've got
Sembra malaccio. Lo usi per fare i dismonti nello spawn avversario.
What's happening with Madamba, Fish?
Sure. So we have a new card coming. We're also making a change to Pungent Gourd, which previously it was going to heal after you activated the gourd. It is now instead going to increase movement speed while inside the radius of the gourd. We also added some forgiveness.
La carta è inutile, però Mending Spirit buffata.
If you always land your shots, no change. If you occasionally miss, it's going to be a little bit reduced cooldown so that you can get back into one that you do hit sooner. So both of those hopefully make me a little bit more consistent.
Ma così Damba diventa rotto perché hai più punti nello loadout da mettere altrove. Visto che puoi tenere la carta del reset del cooldown sull'altfire più bassa. Dipende dalla quantità dei punti. Vatu buffato, no?
Yeah, you know, Vatu, he's back in the shadows a little too much. What this is essentially going to do is it's going to increase the effective range. So you're just going to be able to hit Vatu's in-hand weapon, those kunai.
Ok, più range a Vatu.
You're going to be able to hit people a little bit further. And then that damage, that fall off, is going to be a little more forgiving. So you're going to be able to deal more damage at a further range.
Forse questo è un problema per le rank.
A little bit more, you know, again, a little more forgiving for players, right? So it's like you can definitely still have your skill moments, but you really just kind of want to allow players to hit that shot when they think they should.
Sounds good. Definitely looking forward to playing with Vatu.
Hanno fatto vedere un nerf a Furia.
Well, that wraps it up for our balance section. Now, we just chose the highlights to go over on the show, but be sure to check out patch notes live on the site. It should be live right now. You can read through all of the other changes for balance, the ones we just talked about. Plus, we've got some more on the site that you guys can check out.
Sono sinceramente stranito.
Let's move on and talk about an exciting change coming in this update.
Exterminate perde molto, mi sa. Che nessuno sta dentro al Pyre a prendere danni maggiorati.
Overview, if you weren't here at the beginning of the season, for Siege Beyond. So Siege Beyond is a brand new queue in Paladins this year, where the Evil Mojo team is kind of using it as a playground, right? To test out some cool, new, fun, experimental mechanics for the Siege game mode. So if you want to try out any of these changes, check over to the Siege Beyond queue and queue up and play. But don't worry, Siege core mode is not going to be changing at all. But I'm super excited to talk about this next schism for Siege Beyond. Fish, I know the first schism...
C'è qualcuno che gioca questa modalità. Ho fatto 2 games e basta.
Is kind of geared towards the payload and the cart. Talk to me a little bit about what's going to be happening in this Siege Beyond
No,
schism.
perché deals up tu 100%. Parte dal danno base e va salendo nel tempo. Non è istantaneamente più forte. Fa più danni, ma devi stare stupidamente là dentro. Ragazzi, questo è il payload. La vecchia modalità.
It is damageable. Now, the flip side of that is it's going to move on its own whether your team is there to push it or not. So the way to stop it, as we just saw, the enemy team was able to kill it. Once it is down, you can see they're moving into this radius here. There are 2 capture points, and with your team standing in either of them, you can start recharging the cart, repairing it. The enemy team can get in there and contest. As we see here, they're fighting from outside. If they were in it, it obeys rules similar to our siege capture point. So you can keep it from progressing by standing in there. Then it will respawn, as we've seen here, and then it's been brought back to death. It can be healed. The healing is a significant reduction, and there are benefits potentially to recharging it. You get
Che figata.
when it respawns. It has some intense damage reduction right after it comes back. So you get a little bit of push time at least, and then if you can keep it alive, you can push it all the way to the enemy base.
Cioè, ok, sì, se vai 3 frontline e 2 healer su sta modalità vinci ogni singolo game per
I
sé.
know sometimes when I'm playing Siege and Paladins, you know, you capture the point and then it kind of becomes a stalemate at the cart, right? Like each team,
Carina
you
come
know,
modalità.
it's like a war of attrition, and then it can feel a little bit random sometimes when a team fight just kind of breaks out and ends. But this, adding some more objectives around the map.
That's right.
To still focus on the cart, but giving you a new kind of gameplay loop.
That's right.
The push towards Siege is exciting.
The cart health is a new kind of point of focus in the fight itself, and then with these 2 repair points that spawn.
E tornando a Furia. Ehi, Pao, 7 mesi.
So hopefully,
Thank you.
it's a lot of fun.
Definitely. Well, Siege
Comunque,
Beyond
tornando a
Season 2
Furia,
coming your
il
way.
buff c'è solo se non ti muovi dal
Darkness
pyre.
Let's move right into just some short community news before we
Sì, ricorda un po' Payload, però nelle mappe piccole. Nelle solite mappe di Siege. Però l'idea è carina, dai, ci stanno provando.
The Prime Gaming Whipped Cream Cassie skin that is still available right now. So if you go to Twitch, it should be right in the top corner. Click that crown to claim your Prime Gaming Cassie skin.
Questa è con Prime, raga.
Prime subscription. You can get that skin for free. And it is again in our
Io l'ho già
Monster
preso.
Cat collaboration. I know the folks over at Monster Cat. We're super excited for this skin. This skin is dope.
Yagoroth stranerfata e tantissima roba? Non ne hanno ancora parlato. Hai già le patch notes, Gio? Le condividi?
We've also got
Metti il
a
link, magari.
2x Champion XP event going on right now.
Sono già up.
So if you want to level up Betty, get her to that level 50 to unlock that golden skin. It's been going on for a while too. This is one of the first times that we've done an extended kind of 2 times.
Vi tengo il link, poi ce lo guardiamo magari. Lo rileggo stasera, tra un'ora anche dell'altra. In stream.
And on Friday, we're going to be switching it over to a 2x event pass XP weekend. So no shortage of double XP, no matter if it's your champion XP or your event pass XP.
Fatto oggi livelli su 7 con sta cosa.
Pass or crossover pass XP is kicking off this weekend starting on Friday to level up your Monster Cat crossover pass, unlock all those awesome rewards, those 6 skins, for
Minimum
Khan and
range
Sky,
of 50.
and a lot of other Monster Cat themed content. But that wraps it up for our community news. We have a couple of quality of life updates that are coming in the Heart of Darkness update that we wanted to go over.
È un nerf cattivo perché c'è tempo per sparare
Yagoro.
Yagoroth.
To you on this one, we're going to be adding new champions to the practice queues.
That's right. It's been a while. We've released a lot of champions since the last time we added new bots. We have added most of the ones we released since last time. There are a couple of exceptions, but starting this patch, you should be able to play them in your practice queues and see some new faces. So
Fixano il mute.
And then the second one is actually a bug fix that our QA
Meno male, almeno si possono usare. Era un problema che avevo anch'io questo qua.
We actually fixed an issue earlier on in this update where muting another player in game would not mute their voice chat. This fix is live in game right now, so if you're playing and you feel like you need to mute someone, don't worry. You can go ahead and click that button. It's going to work as intended for you. But we've got tons of other bug fixes that we've got communicated.
Puoi fixarlo 6 anni dopo, però.
So be sure to check that out on paladins.com. But let's
I don't know.
right into content.
È già fissato il mute, ok. Sono io che non uso la voice chat, quindi non me ne accorgo.
It's going to be the Lost Future event pass, and this one's got a little bit of cheeky lore behind it. Fish, talk to me about what's the theme of this battle pass and how we got there.
Sure. So as folks are probably aware, Paladins has played around with different timelines and stuff, and in the Lost Futures, we're kind of looking at what if corruption had spread kind of undeterred, and that's giving us some corrupted versions of champions that turned out really cool.
Yeah,
so
I'm
excited
definitely
to see this.
so. Speaking of corrupted champions, the first skin that we've got is Corrupted Atlas, who's going to be our instant unlock for this event pass. So first of all, new Atlas skin, let's go.
Yeah.
Second of all, this theme is just like perfect.
Atlas.
The card art is sick. What do you all think about this one?
We got some like wiggly tentacle things going on his face. That's definitely.
È geniale.
And then,
È geniale sta skin.
His weapon arm is definitely. We've got these eyeballs going on. There's so much good stuff here.
Yeah, that chrono cannon.
E il cosplay di Yagoroth, bellissimo.
Oh, he's even got eyes.
Atlas cosplayer.
That's like hardcore.
You cannot sneak up on
Ah,
it.
che figo.
This is amazing, and I believe we're getting ready.
Non hanno parlato dei cambiamenti di series. Se ho tempo prima delle 7 li leggiamo insieme. Dalle patch notes, se no li facciamo poi alle 8:30 tutti insieme. Perché mi devo solo alzare a cenare e poi torno in stream.
There.
The most important part of the new asset.
Right?
Look at that style.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it for. Oh, okay. There's more.
È molto bella. L'arma occupa un po' di spazio, però.
That weapon.
Nulla di
Oh, it
grave.
looks even better up close. Oh my goodness.
I love the little eye movements. They're disconcerting, but they're really cool.
I love the oranges too.
It's an interesting compliment on this color scheme.
And everyone, all of the teams that worked on all of these skins with Atlas just knocked it out of the park. This looks so good.
Really
Molto più bello di Atlas base.
our team.
Oh my goodness, look at those effects. That's awesome. Oh, sick.
Oh.
That's what I was waiting
Questo è
for.
bello, però l'occhio in mezzo dà fastidio. Però è fighissimo.
No, it's almost like time is a type of construct.
Right? Yeah.
Yo.
Maybe that's a construct that I want to mess with, right? Like,
Figo è figo.
Into a voice line somewhere.
ooh.
Yeah, this is all just so good. And then shout outs to our Hi-Res Nico for doing the voice pack. It's also really
Nice. Well, this is Corrupted Atlas, but as with all event passes, all of our skins have recolors.
That's right.
So we can get into the recolor for Corrupted Atlas, which is going to be Vile Atlas coming up here. And this one is dope. I'm a big fan of green.
Same.
And
Sure.
green and purple is just like an iconic combo.
Yeah, I've used that pair in a lot of games. I love seeing it here.
this skin will be the one that I'm rocking live.
Yeah.
For sure.
This one is nuts.
Yeah, those tentacles, everything about this skin is just like, it's so, there's so much going on and it just seems so extra for Alice, but it fits him perfectly.
Right? This
Preferisco
and
quella
I was
rossa.
looking at the card art. It's awesome. You know, we talked about the corruption, and you get the Yaggorath silhouette in the background of that splash art. It's sick.
I love the green getting kind of like bright and toxic-y, and also the different color scheme here makes the bone.
Non lo fanno mai, non parlano mai di tutti i bilanciamenti.
In this
Oh
particular
yeah, that's a
color as
good
well.
point. I didn't even realize, but yeah, you've got the bones.
Yeah.
And the gun has teeth. Like, what is that?
Tanto ce li guardiamo tutti noi.
That's
Non
awesome.
preoccupate.
Very
Bilanciamenti è più che altro, mi
This is
interessa
Vile
adesso.
Atlas, the
Skin e cose varie, non
recolor
sono
for
affari miei.
Corrupted Atlas in the event pass coming up for you in the Heart of Darkness update. The next skin that we've got, moving on, the corruption is moving on, and it has taken over Io.
Oh no.
We've
Poor
got-
Io.
Not high.
Aio? In sto stile?
Itself.
I know. Oh my goodness, look at Luna. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Luna?
I think you fed her after midnight or something.
Right?
Niente, questa è la skin più bella di Aio per il momento.
The weapon there, it looks like it's just stone.
Luna è
bone,
magnifica.
like some kind of very like minerally like jagged edge.
Oh, yeah.
Beh, anche Aio stessa è bella come
I
skin.
like the face, the little mask,
Right?
The highlights
Like
on
the
the
face
That's very
paint.
cool.
Yeah. Lots of awesome little details. And this one's got the bone kind of structures as
La
well.
coda è enorme.
I love the orange and black.
Bellissima
Always gotta turn
e
around the
troppo
Luna as well.
bella, troppo bella.
Yeah.
And that inner kind of flame stuff going on as well.
That's
A
awesome.
molten core kind of thing.
Yeah, so now Luna's, and Io, they're not really protectors of the realm in this.
Right? Yeah, I know.
Something else
They
is
are, the
happening.
realm is in trouble.
Yeah.
Well,
Due faccia avrà gli HP di Berky, Agora.
We can
True.
have her in game to show off as we get production prepped a little bit. There we go.
Looking out over the beautiful city that maybe she'll take over. Who
She'll
knows?
destroy. Very confident there.
Tiny but powerful.
Right?
That's the scary thing.
And again, the orange effects and like the flames.
And like some
Gli effetti sono davvero carini.
system as well. That's cool.
Shout out to all the teams again. Such a good skin.
Almost definitely. Yeah. This turned out amazing.
I was lucky enough to be able to do the voice pack for this one as well. So
Un battle pass in tema Yagura.
play some of those voice lines and let me know what you think. It was a lot of fun. She's kind of going for that like a little scary, a little little detached, a little creepy vibe. So it was a lot of fun.
Definitely not your friendly neighborhood.
Carina.
Definitely not.
Giustamente c'è la faccia di Agora.
That aggressive theme just works so well for her too.
Well, I believe we can check out a couple voice lines here.
Di solito adesso nei pass mettono solo 2 skin, quindi dopo Aio non c'è niente. Ci sarà il recolor di Aio e basta.
So devoid. I am the end of all things. Here to spoil. Attack.
Got some pint size in there.
Right? Yeah. You definitely hit the mark on the head with the cute and creepy
Yeah.
kind of aspect to this voice.
Voglio di
pack.
usare Aio
This is
adesso.
Corrupted Io. Definitely looking forward to checking her out in the realm. And let's move on to her recolor. That is going to be in the event pass. We've got Frozen Moon Io. And again with the purples, but we've got some of the blues back that we think of when we think of IO
Tranne sti colori.
traditional
Carina,
colors,
però.
but definitely still on the darker side because it's predominantly purple. You've got some ominous vibes.
Proprio nel range di colori di Aio, forse. La base.
It makes the weapon look kind of
Infatti sì,
crystalline.
sembra più normale.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Preferisco quella rossa.
Those eyes. Yeah, again, actually, the bone pops out a little more with this color scheme for
Right,
me.
yeah.
At least I was able to notice some of the bone work.
Got some dark light contrast going.
Yeah.
Bone work.
And of course we've got Luna again.
Yeah, I mean, these skins are just like, you're definitely going to want to grind for these. They're so
Right,
good.
this is incredible. I love the blue flames around Luna
Yeah.
as well. It turned out great.
The first one seemed like a natural consequence of the heat inside, and this feels kind of like an ethereal, something else magic going on.
Right, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, this turned out great. Well, that is the Lost Future event pass. All the content coming in your way in that new pass. Skins for Atlas IO, recolors for Atlas IO, plus a bunch of other corruption-themed cosmetics. I think I saw some loading frames, some sprays. So definitely
Io andrei di
check
lifelink
all
poi.
those out on the patch.
Oppure su Luna.
We've got some other awesome skins headed your way.
Il DR è
as
sempre
well.
ok,
We've
però.
got-
Solo che curi
first
molto
off,
meno.
The Diamond Trove Chest is going to be
C'è anche.
updated with a new skin for Kanessa. Going to be Dune Strider Kanessa. And I love, coming from the
Ooh.
Smite side, I love the kind of Egyptian-esque theme here,
Right.
the sand. You know, it just speaks to my heart. What do y'all think?
Yeah, very cool, and I like the kind of the
Non è fortissima
outfits with
Aio.
some really,
Il ranked penso funzioni,
kind of
però. Stasera la uso, sicuro.
pharaoh-esque,
Proprio voglia di usarla.
embellishments, garnishments like their jewels and stuff. Really like this.
Davvero bella sta skin.
Yeah, she's got that, like, her little backpack's like a canopic jar. Everything about this is really sick.
This is awesome. Yeah, I love it. I love the small little details and like her headdress and then on her back.
Sembra uscita da Jojo, by the
All
way.
the kind of ancient Egyptian vibes here going
Da
on.
Jojo 6.
That's going to be Dune Strider Kanessa coming in the Diamond Trove chest. And the last skin that we've got that we definitely want to show off is one I'm super excited about. It's going to be in the Arcane Powers chest. We have got Dragonette Betty La Bomba. And this one, just out of the park. Every aspect of this
Okay.
is so great. What do y'all think about this one?
I mean, I love some internet.
Questo è
memes.
originale,
I
molto
love,
bello.
The kind of vibe we've got going here. Definitely a boss.
queen.
I've played this a lot, and I like this skin a great deal.
I'll say it again. Look at that tail.
Look at that tail, of course.
Bowser.
Oh, it looks even better in game. Oh, this is amazing. Shout outs to everybody on the Evil Mojo team on the art side.
Yep.
Absolutely killing it for all this content.
I
but
love the little wings popping out of her back as well. That's really fun.
This is awesome. And of course, she's got her crown.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be Queen Betty La Bomba without her crown. But we're actually going to go in game because this one is awesome. I definitely want to see a little bit more of her in game as we get ready to show off all the abilities and all that stuff.
Oh, hey, Betty.
There we go. What's going
jump.
on?
Quindi lancia draghetti?
Oh, I love the
Sì.
weapon too.
No, lancia uova.
The weapon even has a crown. That's how you know.
Sono uova di drago.
That weapon has earned its crown.
Right?
I love the mix of like the metal for the chambers and then some kind of organic scale or chitin looking stuff for the rest of the weapon. Very cool.
Ho appena pensato
Love the
che
reptilian,
ricorda moltissimo
little
Junkrat.
knives.
Proprio di The Reg.
Bouncy bombs going on here. I love the green trails too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I was about to comment on that. Yeah, everything about this is just really good.
Sì.
Our driver's setting us up here. There we go.
Questo è un pass che prenderò.
Nice.
What a play.
Right?
1900 danni.
Yeah, it's just.
Però comincia a far
it
male
is
su
that
Ultimate.
Really, it just fits her so well. This kind of both cute, but like dragon. There's a little bit of aggression. She's a little scary, but at the same time, she's just
Nice.
like kind of
Having a good
adorable.
time about it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a listen to some of the voice lines for Dragonette Betty.
You mess with a dragon, you get an overused joke about horns.
Mm.
Oh, yeah,
The old anti-joke.
I was just winging it. What do you humans say? Woo-hoo? Oh, yeah. I am straight fire. Dude, dragon fire. Are the dragon's wagon.
Just winging it, you know.
Right,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
winging it. Oh my gosh. All right, that's your pun for the show.
Okay.
Straight fire indeed, as Dragonette Betty would say. But we've got just a couple more cosmetics that we want to show off before we get into our champion reveal. We've got some gold skin updates coming up in this patch.
Gold skins.
We've got the card art to show off to you for the first one. We've got Moji going to be getting an updated gold skin. I know this is a project that the Evil Mojo team is just continually working on, right, Fish?
We like to continue going back and making sure the bar is consistent up to our ever increasing standards. So really happy to go back and hit these.
Definitely, and this card art looks amazing. And then next up, we've got one more gold skin update for the patch.
Comunque gli artisti delle skin fanno solo wallpaper incredibili. Sta roba sono tutti wallpaper fantastici per il PC.
And the black and gold is just such a classic color combo, right?
Yeah.
Bella Golden Willow, molto carina.
Like her
Fiorellino bianco.
stance and that glow we've got going on. Very cool stuff.
Look at her flower.
Molto bella.
Right?
Petals.
That's awesome.
Hey, Silent.
Well, that will wrap it up for all the content coming out in the Heart of Darkness update, but we've got one more very important section to go over. We've got the champion reveal for Lilith coming to you in just a second. We'll be right back on the other side of this video.
Trailer. Blood. Forza volume alto. Lo lascio così. Questo è l'escape.
Stand down. I called her here. Grand Magister Leon. It's the only way to save him. He's dying. Well, you do only call when you need my help.
Non è morto Corvus. Ha detto he's dying. Quindi forse non resuscita.
Wow, what a video. I am super excited to dive deep into Lilith. That video has a little bit of lore implications on what's going on. Poor Corvus, right? Seven messed him up good.
That's right. He's looked better.
Right, he's definitely looked better. So, Alex, I'm going to defer to you. Talk to me about who Lilith is and where she fits into the realm and how we kind of got here and why she is showing up now.
Sure. Yeah, so Lilith, our newest champion, our support champion. We can get in a little bit about her lore, but yeah, first she's just, she's been kind of hanging out on the outside watching things, and she's definitely someone who is up to strike a bargain, but she's going to make sure that the odds are in her favor at the end of the day. I mean, who wouldn't? Well, maybe I wouldn't, but she would. So yeah, the kind of like who Lilith is, let's go over the lore real quick. It says, like, what is the value of eternal life? At what point does the cost become too great? Lilith, through ill fortune and fear, has found herself on the path of this defiled discovery. Once a staunch defender of the magistrate, Lilith was a confidant and friend of Leon, even becoming a border lord in the far-off lands over which Leon holds dominion. Yet, this proud life would not last forever. Gravely wounded in a border incursion by resistance fighters, Lilith painstakingly crawled away from the battlefield, cursing those who brought her to death's door. What Lilith didn't know, what she couldn't have imagined, was that the Abyss would reach out to her and offer her a gift, an offer that was too powerful to refuse. Now, Lilith reigns from her dark corners of the realm. Aided by her unnaturally long life and keen mind, Lilith dashes from shadow to shadow with her deadly heart of crimson, a sinister weapon that swells with unnatural power whenever it tastes the blood of her enemies. Lilith works towards a realm blessed by the bounteous gifts once bestowed on her, ones that nobody will be allowed to deny.
The splash art looks amazing. I believe we have a turnaround video so we can get a little bit of a closer look of Lilith and her Heart of Darkness before we go in game. But oh my goodness, she looks amazing.
Yeah, they again, everyone not
Questa è la skin base.
Audio, visual, like VFX, concept art, the weapon team, rigging, everything about her is just.
Quella dall'extrasa di Heroes of the Storm.
Things worse than death and what price is
Conoscete?
much to pay. Like,
È
there's a lot
identica.
of fun stuff here.
And the price being too much to pay is kind of independent from person to person. It depends on some
Che
people may be
tette,
willing
no,
to
no.
pay, which is
Forse l'arma è il cubetto.
comes in.
Yeah, and she even reached out, or the Abyss reached out to her, so maybe we'll see something else with the Abyss happen in the realm, because it's definitely kind of coming in and using Lilith as a little bit of a...
Beh, comunque lei è un non morto palese.
Well, speaking
Dirò
of
qualcosa del genere.
let's go ahead and go into game and start breaking down what's happening
Ecco.
with Lilith. First of all, again, welcome to the realm, Lilith. Happy to have you here.
Quattro
Talk to
colpi.
me about her weapon. Let's start off with that because it's very unique.
Yes.
Heart of Crimson, Alex. What's going on with her weapon?
Yeah, so the Heart of Crimson you can see
El
is this
arma.
kind of little, puzzle box like. It's really beautiful.
Guardate la
kinda
vita.
serious, right? But this was
Strana.
gifted to her by the Abyss. And so what this is it's a weapon that is going to shoot out some of that channeled blood energy. It kind of has this big piercing shot. Right now she has 4 ammunition. That's max, right? So you really need to land your shots with these.
Fa
A
malissimo.
pretty hefty amount of damage, around 625 per shot, and that can be affected by a few things. But you can actually gain some of that ammunition back too. But right now that box, and you can see how beautiful it looks like when it
Mina come una
reloads, the spinning
stronza.
cart. This is just kind of like where she draws a lot of her power from, right? And that's where she's going to be hitting people from all of the time. And it's, you know, as the lore implies, she kind of draws blood and energy from those that she kills and wounds, and it kind of is trapped in that box right there. That Heart of Crimson.
Definitely.
When this first came in the playtest, like I
vita.
reloaded just for fun because I really like the way that turned out. It's a very cool weapon and a very cool animation we got.
Right, and we went through quite a few
Oh, sopra
variations.
la vita,
Once,
sorry.
once the box was kind of promoted and everyone looked at it, it was kind of like, yeah, that's what we're going with.
Tantissimi
I
HP.
apologize because I skipped over a point. I'm looking at the health bar.
Yeah, what's-
it's very
oh.
unique. What's happening with her health?
Something different there.
Yeah, so actually, this is a big part of her kit. So she is a support, like I said. Her base health, again, without cards, is 750, but she has that red bar. Right? We're just going to call her blood health. And right now, that is sitting at around 2,500. And so when Lilith is attacked, that blood health will be hit first. Think of it like a permanent shield, or it is her health. But she's also going to use that blood health to cast some of her abilities, and we'll get into that. But
E
it
usa la
also
sua
means
vita
that
come
she is
qualcosa.
going to regain that blood health by using her blood hex, by using her swarm ability, but she also needs to cast with that same blood health. So if you're hitting Lilith a lot and you're damaging her and you get her low, it's going to be a little harder for her to use some of her abilities because it's tied in.
Ok, usa la sua vita per le abilità.
And I'm super excited to go a little bit deeper and talk
Strano.
about that blood hex, which is the alt fire. Fish, talk to me about what's going on with that.
So the blood hex is kind of an interesting complement to the rest of the kit. It does not draw on the blood pool. It's one of our few abilities that do not draw on it, and it applies a mark. You can apply it to an ally, or you can apply it to an enemy. If you apply it to an ally, we're going to see these swarm of bats, and they're going to heal them over time. If you apply it to an enemy, it's going to damage them over time instead. And either way, because it's not drawing from her blood pool, and those ticks are filling it, you're going to use this you're going to weave it in between the other abilities to make sure you still have health to not die and this blood health to cast from. So it's a very cool thing. It also reveals an enemy to Lilith only while they are marked.
Fa malissimo.
Yeah,
Ed è
it does,
aimbot.
for that blood mark, it actually does a 2%, but it does a max percent of their health damage. So you can actually never kill someone with the blood mark, but you're always going to be taking just a percent of their max health. So it
Questo
has
percent fa male.
more damaging effects, right? The higher health they are.
Right, awesome. So you definitely want to kick things off.
Yep.
Your engages with this.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll mark
Ok,
it,
quindi i danni che fai ti curano la vita.
stuff like that.
Right, and actually, what I had mentioned before is the kind of fun interaction is when you mark an enemy, only an enemy, and you hit them with your in-hand fire, you will actually get a refund of that ammunition. So if you're landing your shots on marked enemies, you're
Ok,
not
quindi
consuming.
tasto destro sul nemico, poi gli spari.
I love how the alt fire and the main fire work together like that. Well, let's move on to some of the abilities. The first ability we've got, ability 1, is Death Wings. Alex, what's going on with this one?
So this is how Lilith is going to kind of like fly into the battle zone, right? Like she has these bat-like qualities, and we wanted to add that in with this movement ability. So Death Wings is a movement ability. She leaps into the air, but instead of just coming right back down, she actually gains a decent amount of air control, and she floats down gently almost. This is something that becomes really cool for repositioning, for tagging that ally that's a little far away, and you can see those beautiful blood wings.
Yeah.
So this is just really cool because you see her.
Quindi ti è un
everything about her is
po'
very
me,
graceful, and
però è
she
carina
glides
da
through the
guardare.
battlefield, and it fits so perfectly.
Sta perdendo vita
This
in qualche
does
modo.
consume blood health.
Ok,
And we'll have those
quindi
final
usare la
numbers
F
eventually, but right now this
prosciuga la
does
vita,
consume some of your
vedete?
blood health, so you want to be cognizant of that when you're in the battlefield. The cool thing about this is that you can actually reactivate the ability in air, and what it does is it slams down onto the ground. So maybe you jump into the air and you're like, I'm taking too much fire. I'm going to hit it again,
Basta fare-
and you're going to go straight down and deal a little bit of
Oh,
damage.
se la riclicchi fai
Just a little
danno.
more escapability, right? That idea, like this bat swooping down. So
Diventa back bounce
she's going to be
house.
up in the air, she's going to be floating, but you can always reactivate it at no extra blood cost to get down to the ground really quickly.
Awesome. So yeah, definitely a great escape, but also it could be an interesting engage if you want to fly in, slam down, and kind of start off a team fight. That's awesome. Ability 2 is going to be Swarm. Fish, talk to me about Swarm. What's happening with this one?
Sure. So what you're doing with Swarm is you're kind of designated an area, and that area is going to be good for your team. You're getting heals in there, and it's going to be bad for the enemy. And one of the interesting things about it is you can actually channel this by holding this ability button or key longer. It's going to strengthen it, so you can have a weak, a medium, or a strong.
Un'area di
version
cure
of this,
e un'area di danni
and
per i nemici.
powerful AOE heal over time. You can throw it on a capture point. You can throw it around the cart and really give your team some survivability. And then if you're hitting those, that's going to help build up your blood pool again as well.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we can see the driver here. Our very nice Tambo is getting everything set up so that we
Potrebbe
can
essere un
see some of these
sostituto di
damage numbers,
Ramba.
healing numbers, things like that. And there you go, you can see that channeling. The channeling does a lot more health, but like any ability,
Ok, se la carichi cura di più.
This pool that's cast on the ground, your team has to also be like, hey, get inside, please. Please heal.
Definitely, you've got to direct them. So this is where we start seeing some of the support.
E danneggia anche, quindi ti rifai l'ultimate in tutto ciò.
And you can see also that ability uses the most of her blood health.
Yep.
It will also, if you play it properly, you can get a lot of it back
toglie molta vita.
instantly if you play it right. But if you kind of whiff it, or if you put it somewhere that's maybe not great, like you're using a decent amount of your blood health. So just, remember that. Yep.
For sure. All right. It's time for the grand finale, the ultimate ability, Blood Moon. Alex, walk us through Lilith's ultimate.
Okay, so yes.
Siamo
Lilith being this kind of the heartless, this queen of the night type of character, right? She's always looking to make the battlefield, she wants it to her advantage and her team's advantage. She's a healer. So this is a global-wide ult, or it's a map-wide ult. What this is going to do is it's going to actually cover the battlefield in this blood moon. So everything takes on this sickly red and black hues. It's very creepy for the enemy team. And during this, Lilith's team can actually gain pure life rip. And so what we mean by that, and this is a new effect we added, your team gets 35% life rip. It can't be cauterized, so if I hit an enemy with my in-hand bullet as anyone on Lilith's team, I'm getting 35% life rip automatically. And that lasts for 8 seconds. So that's the team-wide buff. For Lilith herself, she's actually going to have increased movement speed, health regen, and she can jump way higher and more often, right? So we reduce the cooldown on the jump. So essentially she's moving around a lot. You can tell this is from her perspective.
Durante l'ultimate tu curi indipendentemente da cauterize e ti muovi velocissimo. E hanno life rip puro.
Really cool, red and black, and it really has this kind of beautiful effect.
Pure.
It's very creepy on the battlefield, so I want people to see that. Think of it like a Mayvault, just less intense.
Okay. Yeah, and I think I saw a note from Tambo there. It looks like we won't be able to see the enemy perspective just yet.
Questo è un buon personaggio. L'unico problema è valutare un attimo quanta vita perdi. Lo giochi un po'. Non stiamo neanche guardando il loadout. Una specie di Maldamba. Però un po' meglio forse.
Yeah, this is the first talent, is your default talent. This is just the one, like, I want to heal more, maybe deal a little less damage, but I'm going to be just concentrating on healing. So what this does is it decreases the damage output across all of your abilities.
Il talento.
Your Blood Hex, your Swarm, and your in-hand fire. You're just dealing a little less
meno
damage.
Danni, più cure.
What that's going to give you is a
Costano anche meno le
higher
abilità.
output, as well as a decreased blood cost on those abilities.
Okay.
So you want to be able to, with this talent, if I
Con questo
want
puoi curare
to
per
cast my
sempre.
healing storm more,
Però fai meno
I just
danno.
want to heal more in general, I want to fly around
Però
more,
mi
this is the talent
dispiacerebbe.
for you.
I danni sono
Again,
buoni
you're not gonna be
di
super
Lily.
aggressive, but this is the player
Fa
that's
tanti.
like, I want to pocket, or I want to support my team fully. That's what Cursed Accord is going to do for you.
Really into that support role for
Yes, for sure, definitely. Their level 2 talent.
Me lo fai con il talento?
Carnage. What's happening with this talent?
Sure. So for that, she's enhancing her swarm ability. So she is increasing the radius. She is lowering the cooldown, but it is also attaching to her. She's no longer casting it at a distance. It's always on her, and that means it will move with her. So you really play a lot differently because now you have to be the radius. So if you're having trouble positioning it such that your allies are going to go into it, you can just go to them.
Non so se sia un buon talento, però è originale.
And then enhancing all the other parts of it to really get value out of that.
Cosa figa è che guadagni un sacco di vita curando o danneggiando, quindi non c'è problema per le abilità. Il fatto che non abbia cooldown ti permette di spammare per sempre.
So if you want to play default with this, and be point control and put your ability on the point, that's fine. You go with that. But you can choose this talent. I'm going to play with my team. We're going to be team fight focused, and we're going to move as a unit. So moving on to this last talent, Murderous Intent. What's going on with this one?
Yeah, so this one is her I'm aggressive talent. What this does is it's going to now make her in-hand weapon shot, those blood bullets or those blood spear, whatever you want to call it, like they will now pierce enemies. And for each pierce shot that it does, it deals 90 more damage. So this is just your typical, like, this thing just got really sharp, right? Like, I'm now hitting enemies, and this also procs off of deployables.
Abbiamo il talento, raga.
Off of other, I think, like pets, things like that.
Questo è il talento.
That are
La
further
mappa
away
poi.
too. This has no damage fall off on this one, so the base one does have a
Sta
slight
roba.
damage fall off. This has no damage fall off.
Nando Scorcio sotto steroidi.
It's a little smaller, right? So it's like there's always a little bit of give and take. And kind
Death Hands e via.
An interesting point in Paladins to give players different ways to kind of attack the game. And this one is like the shots are a little harder, so they're a little bit smaller. They're not as large, but
No, è come Scorch, Fernando. Fai 90 danni in più per ogni nemico colpito. Un piercing.
There are several cards that you can build that interact with this, so it's a fun set if you really want to lead this style.
Credo che talento utile sia il primo, così a sentimento, perché curi un po' di più se devi andare healer.
That wraps it up for Lilith.
Però so danni che perforano, non fa
Got some
male.
awesome cosmetics and recolors coming with Lilith when this
Io immagino che con questa roba è Lilith base, tra l'altro. Non stiamo neanche guardando il loadout.
Voice lines. We definitely want to hear what she sounds like. Let's listen to some of the voice
Quindi
lines.
non resuscita la gente. Giustamente, Corvus mica era morto.
Pair beautifully with my evening meal. How
Sì,
gorgeous.
sono 4000 HP.
The night embraces
Alla nerferanno.
blood.
Ray Lilith.
Nice. That's
Donna.
the one.
Want to suck your blood.
Want to suck your blood.
I'm such a pain in the neck.
Post-process makes her gives her an otherworldly feel.
And if
Right.
if you listen to those footsteps too, it's like she's constantly walking through a creepy castle. Like it's these heels just walking.
To suck your blood. Capito?
Don't want to be down that hallway.
È un signor personaggio, ragazzi. Veramente buono buono.
Maybe you're into that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, maybe you are into that. We'll see. But yeah, let's talk about some of the recolors that Lilith's coming out with in the next update.
L'idea è geniale.
Let's do the season pass recolor first. This is going to be Sunborn Lilith. So I definitely love this because it's kind of going back to the lore. This is pre-Abyss, right?
This is pre-Abyss.
Before the fall.
Yeah, before the fall, exactly. This is the Lilith, like if you want the...
Oh, carina, non ha le ali, le corna.
You want her
Quello
to
che
have
è.
that little more of like that human,
Versione umana.
corrupted vibe. This is the Lilith you're going for.
So warm blood.
Bella
pumping
bella.
through her veins,
Exactly.
visible
Yeah.
skin tone.
She can still fly. We don't need to talk about that, but
Right,
she
yeah.
she is still she's much more human looking.
Very skilled jumper. is-
Exactly.
is-
Yep. Floating with style is what we call it. I love the silvers and browns as well. Very classic.
A cool like adventure.
Ha 4000 HP sto personaggio. Mi metti un po' di Haven, Veteran e un frontline come gli altri. Ti curi pure
All
tanto.
right, next up, let's talk about the default recolor. It's going to be
La nerferanno.
Wicked Hex Lilith, and this one's got some green.
Non penso che abbiano in mente sti numeri.
Not human at all in this.
Li concepiscano.
I mean, this one, like you look at the kind of cape or that like flowing kind of fabric behind her. Now it has like these, it's like belts and
Yep.
chains.
Yep.
I mean, it's like
I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
it's super sick. And like her hair, I mean, this is my favorite, but this is just like she's going 100% for it with
È
this one.
Mistress
So
Lilith.
I'm definitely the Heartless.
Right? Yeah.
I've always liked that too many belts aesthetic too. Like
Too many belts.
I vibe with it. Yeah.
It's definitely a vibe. And I love the green hair.
Yeah,
That's
so
so
good.
That really pops. Yeah.
Yeah, the green hair, all blacked out. Oh, I even
Provi?
love the small hint of green on her weapon as well. That's a nice little touch.
And the black brings out like the little rubies and stuff around as well.
This one looks amazing. Well, the last skin that we got for Lilith is going to be her gold.
Abbiamo trovato la mommy di
get level
Paladins.
50 with Lilith. I know we got some
Ci
grinders
succhia
out
il
there
sangue.
in the community who will
We'll be
get this
first.
like day one.
Yeah.
We'll see who
Sembra
gets this
Tatsumaki.
first.
È vero,
Again,
è
the
vero.
classic black and gold here for Lilith.
Uh.
I love the white hair. as
Solo che
well.
le borchie questo qua.
Moon.
What happened
That
to
moon
that?
has seen some days.
Yeah, this is a great. I mean, all of our mastery skins are awesome, but this one is like, I mean, they're just like the hair gradient that kind of goes from that white almost to that kind of our mastery purpley skin
Yeah.
like that we have, and so yeah, I think this.
Io
one
il mio
is
nuovo
just
main, sicuro.
so
Step
good.
on me,
I don't have to say
mommy.
about it, it's awesome.
White hairstyle is always a fun aesthetic as well.
This turned out absolutely amazing. Definitely looking forward to getting some games with Lilith in, because this is like a must-have. This color combo is sick.
Yeah. This is one champion that definitely does not suck.
Right? Oh my god. That's your one fun. Everybody got one. Oh my goodness. Well, that is it for the Heart of Darkness.
Pochetto in siege con
Gentlemen,
Lilith.
once again, thanks so much for joining me in person.
Thank you.
It feels good to have us
È davvero un bel personaggio, ma veramente bella bella.
Community, thanks
È
so much for tuning
geniale.
into the stream and checking out
Non me lo
everything
aspettavo
headed your way
sinceramente, mi
with
aspettavo
Paladins.
qualcosa di
On
molto più
behalf
classico.
of me, Fish, Alex, everyone on Evil Mojo, all the production team, we are signing off here. Be sure to keep an eye out on our social media channels.
Mi mandate il link,
CTS,
forse non l'ho
we have
preso.
that out for you on Friday, but we'll be sure to let you know as soon as it is available for play. But other than that, we will catch you next time. We'll see you in the realm.
Thanks for playing.
Grazie, ciao. Guardiamocelo velocemente. Allora, vabbè, tolto sto personaggio che abbiamo visto, volevo soltanto finire i bilanciamenti al volo. Poi stacco e torno alle 8:30, ce li riguardiamo meglio. Perché non hanno detto tutti i bilanciamenti, buff e nerf. Scendo veloce. Limited time modes, who cares, per ora. Li vediamo dopo al massimo. Queste sono le skin, test no, general updates, eccoli qui. Allora, non questi, balance, eccoli qui. Allora, Azal l'abbiamo visto. Sì. Beric. Gli buffano lo scudo. Bello sto buff di Beric. Tinkering. Gli aumentano i danni di Tinkering. 550 shot. Diventa Mako a botte. Forse anche un po' meglio, perché le torrette. Betty l'abbiamo vista. Beric è buono, mi piace sto buff. Betty l'abbiamo vista. Furia lo rileggiamo, visto che qualcuno di voi non l'ha capito. Questo è il nerf. Sembra un buff perché fa più danni, invece che 75% in più fa 100. Ma li fa partendo dal normale, dal 50 mi sembra, fino a 100. Quindi se stanni qualcuno e quello esce subito, si prende meno danni di adesso. Se invece sta là dentro, si prende più danni di prima. Perché è buffato ma nel tempo, ovvero un nerf. Light Forge, quella che dà la speed dopo la cura, che cosa fa? Increases you and your target's movement speed. Questa è carina, la cura aumenta la speed fino al 25%. Carina, ma non so quanto sia effettivamente usabile. Però curi qualcuno e quello va più veloce per 1 secondo e mezzo. Totemic Ward. New also increases the radius of healing totem. Ah, ok, buffiamolo, non è abbastanza forte. Comunque diventa bello forte. Binary Star, gli aumentano il far rate perché faceva cagare. Invece che 2 al secondo, 2 e qualcosina al secondo. Fa sempre schifo. E ti riduce le munizioni a 10. Tanto per. Genos Binary Star è morto, non serve più. Cambiano delle carte, ma tanto non esiste più. Troppo debole. Khan! Lo scudo gli aumentano la vita. Questo è un bel buff per Khan, visto che Khan è un po'... ha tanti danni, ma il suo scudo personale è un po' luccio. E Lian's Shield, il talento, lo fa ricaricare ancora più veloce. Buono. Bello, con questo shieldi tantissimo. Diventi una specie di Nando Aegis, ma solo per te stesso. Inessa l'abbiamo vista. Hai 2 mine invece che una alla volta, quindi la puoi piazzare fino a 4 con il talento Eagle Eye. Maldamba. Non sappiamo quanto però. Ridie indietro di cooldown, non l'hanno detto. Non è detto. In ogni caso è un bel buff questo qui. Poi gli cambiano una carta e dà speed sulla pozione. Non credo sia tanto utile. Perché le carte di... ecco, potrebbe essere utile se il refund del tempo è abbastanza alto, così risparmi punti in quella carta. E poi questa carta qua, immagino non la conosciate. No, qui. Questa carta qua, i riprese. Se questa la si può portare all'1, cambi una filler e metti quella lì della speed sulla pozione. A quel punto sarebbe ok. Pip. Finalmente gli tolgono un po' di testa. Sapete che Pip è tutto testa e fare headshot da Pip è troppo facile. Adesso è un po' più forte. Sarebbe anche ora, perché in effetti è un po' deboluccio per questo problema. Contro champion che fanno headshot prende un sacco di mazzate. Carino. The time had finally come, Neko. Ok, Sati. Head cannon. Le diminuiscono i danni, cosa molto buona. Poi la passiva ridotta. Ok, sì, è più lenta a caricare le palline. La seconda abilità ha più range, vabbè. In ogni caso questo è un bel nerf, abbastanza cattivo tra l'altro, 20 danni in meno. Poi Seris, la nominata prima pre-phase, leggiamo. Abilities. Rend Soul, che è l'ability 1, ha il cooldown a 7 secondi. Ah, è la Q, ok. Stavo pensando a Restore Soul. Ok, la Q che fa danno. Ha il cooldown aumentato, però fa più danni. E aumenta l'healing. Praticamente sta tornando Series Damage. Più o meno. Stanno provando. L'Ultimate la puoi riattivare per farla esplodere mid-air. Ah, tipo la lanci e scoppia? Ok. Terence. Egoni. Ah, bello. Con Egoni, invece di avere l'effetto di adesso, che era tipo uno stun, non usa nessuno, infatti. Prendendo Egoni, ignori Cauteres per un po'. Per un pochino. Praticamente il tuo tasto destro cura ignorando un pochino di anti-healing. Stanno inserendo lentamente nel gioco la possibilità di ignorare Cauteres. È ok secondo me come mentalità. Si può fare. Esiste anche nei MOBA sta cosa. Danni puri, pure mi sembra si dica. X, stealth. Costa di più lo stealth. Ok, non è tutto sto personaggio però. Batu, l'hanno buffato, non so perché. Ecco il nerf di Yagorat. Era l'ultimo interessante. Allora, le riducono ancora la vita. Road to Beric, sta scendendo giù fino a 1000 HP. E poi, ecco la modifica più grossa. Non puoi più ultare la gente vicina, puoi ultare solo la gente che ha 50 unità o in più di là. È abbastanza un problemino perché non puoi instautare una persona che hai sotto i piedi e mangiartela subito, ma devi aspettare che arrivi nella tua bocca. E questo significa che ti sparano ed è più difficile. E poi però non puoi più mancarla. Quindi puoi prendere chiunque da lontano, ma se clicchi lo prendi in automatico e quello comincia ad arrivare alla bocca di... È un nerf abbastanza cattivo, devo dire. Però non puoi mancare, quindi in realtà puoi prendere spazio con sicurezza. Perché ti lanci nella backline, ulti. L'importante è prendere qualcuno, la vita la prendi in ogni caso perché tanto non manchi più. Però è più difficile mangiartelo e andartene via. È molto più probabile che ti spacchino e che si salvi la persona. Forse cambia abbastanza poco i fatti per Yagorat, tranne per chi abusa le ultimate sulle pareti, come è stato detto. Con questo sono finiti, perché poi ci sono bug fix, poi qualche altro dettaglio. Direi ci fermiamo, torno poi alle 8:30, 9, in quella mezz'oretta lì, e andiamo avanti con le ranked, anche perché mi devo prendere il master. Grazie per la compagnia ragazzi, è stato divertente. Sì, 52 tipi, dobbiamo salire, devo prendermi il master a tutti i costi. E a dopo, a dopo. Via.